they get educated, they find a job, and suddenly they stop reading. Suddenly they stop learning. And a lot of people just do the job and they generally complain about it. I'm not growing in my current position. Can you help me out, etc. You need to define what you want, right? Where you want to be. Like I was, I went to engineering. I spent 4 years learning about engineering, or even though I do my master's in management production. There was not one course about leadership, how the successful projects works, that again, how you define the scope, how you collect the resources, how you find the funding, and how you deliver the projects, right?
This video is brought to you by us, SCMDOJO. We provide awesome courses, guides, best practices for supply chain community.
Hi folks, welcome to one more episode of SCMDOJO Knowledge. Today I'm going to talk about 11 tips which will take your career to the next level. One of the frequently asked requests I get is, oh, can you please help me look into my CV, give me the top tips of how can I take my career into next level. In this vlog, I'm going to give you 11 tips which I think I have learned as a manager or basically as an employee myself, which will help you build your career further or take it to the next level. Number 1, set realistic goals about your career expectation. You need to define what you want, right? Where you want to be. You want to be a supply chain manager, logistic director, you want to be a category manager, you want to be a manufacturing manager, plant manager, entrepreneur, whatever you want to be, you're the only person who knows it, right? So you need to write it down. You have to think about it strategically, what you want to be. That is the basic, that is the starting point. Number 2, so once you decide what you want to do or what job you are looking for or what is your career ambition, you need to come up with the step-by-step plan, right? And this is, for me, is one of the most important steps you're going to do, right? So what I do is generally I write down my 5 years of plan. So for example, when I was a demand planner, I quite like to be a supply chain manager. I keep asking questions, what I have to do to become a supply chain manager. Well, the feedback I used to get, okay, you need to develop you got a master's, you're a technically competent person. However, we want you to develop your leadership skills, your interpersonal skills, your presentation skills. You speak very fast. I still do, by the way. Speak slowly so people can understand you, etc., right? So once I achieved that job, then I said, okay, I want to be a logistics director. Then I work towards it. Then I realized after PhD, I want to become an entrepreneur. Then I work towards it. So you have to come up with your step-by-step plan. Whatever you know, you might don't know a lot of things. Whatever you know, put it together, talk to the right people. Number 3, discuss your career goals with your boss. And I find it astonishing sometimes. A lot of people just do the job and they generally complain about it. I'm not growing in my current position. Can you help me out, etc. And then I ask the question, okay, did you talk to your boss? And generally the answer is no, I haven't, right? So why? That should be the first and the most important thing you do. There's only 2 people responsible for your basic career, you and yourself and your boss. I actually made a special video, which you can find the link below or maybe up here as well, where I said, how to have a career conversation with your boss. And in that video, I have defined 6 steps. So go and have a look into that video, which will give you a structured approach, how to discuss your boss, your career goals. Number 4, keep track of your own performance using PDCA approach. That means plan, do, check, act, right? So now you know what you want, you agree, development plan with your boss or whoever your leader is. And then you say, okay, I want to do this, this, and this in this year, or maybe 6 months and next 3 months, right? But you are the only one who can track it. As I said, you have to take your ownership of your career progression, right? So plan, do, check, act. For example, you say, okay, I want to develop my skills in business analytics, or I want to learn Power BI. Great. So then break it down to a smaller chunks. You say, okay, I want to do a course on SCMDOJO or LinkedIn or wherever. And then after this course, I want to do a mini project. And after this mini project, I will talk to my boss, say, I've developed my skills on Power BI. Let's basically take all the manual KPIs out and let's create a dashboard which people can use, and let's reduce the time of creating a lot of complicated Excel spreadsheet with some automation. I'm just giving an example. The point is, you put the target into the action of learning, implementing, trying, failing, which is essentially plan, do, check, act. Eventually you're successful. And trust me, if you do it that way, in a few months' time, you'll be super happy and you'll be super proud. The 5th tip I'm going to give you is actively read. What I found surprising is, and people close to me, my friends and family, once they go to university, they get educated, they find a job, And suddenly they stop reading. Suddenly they stop learning. Learning is a lifelong experience. You got to continue to develop yourself. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter. You're into field of arts or engineering or management or sciences or whatever, right? Because new knowledge keep coming, and you need to keep learning. And that's what we're trying to do at SCMDOJO. Is trying to give you the most possible, most latest knowledge within the supply chain sphere, right? So come and read our blogs, do our courses, get our guides, get some best practices. So you got to continue to read. There's tons of information available. If you, for example, using mobile phone, Android or Apple, you just start Google topic of your interest, and then you will see your feed will change, and it will keep showing you the article and the topics you are interested. Right. So continue to read wherever you find. If you don't have a time to read, I'll basically listen to a podcast or listen to a SCMDOJO YouTube channel, or basically what I do, I use Audible, because again, when I'm in the gym, I'm driving, I listen to the books. Is equal to reading at the same time. So continue to upgrade our knowledge, because this new knowledge can take you to the next level where you want to go. Number 6, read about leadership. I could have tell you a lot of things, and why I'm saying leadership, because if you think about the people who grow in their career, who become plant managers, directors, chief procurement officer, head of supply chain, plant managers, operations director, chief operating officer, CEOs, they are very good leaders, right? And leadership is a big topic, right? That means your interpersonal solving, your communication, your charisma, your ability to lead by example, how you basically develop other people, how you basically manage conflict, how you deal with crisis. It's an enormous topic, right? I cannot even cover the headlines. So the point is, along with your technical knowledge, right? Along with your IT-related knowledge, read about leadership, right? The more you read about leadership, the better you get. Apply it. It doesn't matter you are at the early part of your career, you are a manager or senior manager, there's always a lot to learn, right? And it doesn't really matter you manage people or not. You don't have to manage people to become a leader. You can be a leader without managing people. You can be a project manager and a very good leader. Because once you start showing your leadership skills, the senior management team or whoever the bosses are can see the potential in you, and then they're gonna start giving you challenging projects, right? So start with the leadership. The problem with the let's call it the conventional education system is like I went to engineering. I spent 4 years learning about engineering, or even though I do my master's in management production, there was not one course about leadership. And guess what? When you go to the practical life, right, and you start doing your job, after 2 years you realize one of the most important things you should learn is leadership, right? So unfortunately, in the technical sphere, leadership is not the common topic. Maybe some universities are focusing on it, but for yourself, the more you read about leadership, the better you're gonna get. Build the competencies in the 3 spheres of, or we call it 3 pillars of knowledge at SCMDOJO. That is supply chain competencies, human skills, and the technological skills. I made a video about this earlier, right, where I said, okay, supply chain competencies are given. You need to know your materials management, your sourcing, your network design, your logistics stuff. You need to know all that. Otherwise, you should not be in the supply chain profession anyway. But compounded by, you got to learn your human skills, your leadership skills, your communication skills, your presentation skills, your emotional intelligence, your networking, right? How you manage up, how you manage down. All these knowledge are super important. That is why we are at SCMDOJO. We are working with experts who can help you in improving your human skills. We have done the courses with Ala on communication leadership. You can have a look. I've given the link below. Or similarly, we want to focus on the technological pillar. Then when we talk about technology, then you need to know what is cloud computing, IoT, blockchain. You got to understand the technological aspect. People keep using the word called supply chain digitalization. That's why we're creating content or supply chain digitalization, right? So there's a special category of the blog. Go and have a look. We are creating courses on that topic as well. Go and check it out on SCMDOJO courses. Number 8, I would strongly recommend to lead a project. Regardless how big or small they are, volunteer yourself to lead a project. So for example, if there's any new softwares coming, there's a ERP implementation, somebody is moving a warehouse, or you're doing the selection of the 3P analysis, finding a new supplier, new product introduction, whatever, right? volunteer to lead a project. Because what project does is, the beauty of project is as a starting point, it has an end point, right? And you can basically show your leadership skills, which I talked about earlier in this video, that you can lead project, you can basically influence people, you can deliver the improvement, whatever the improvement project want to deliver, right? It shows your all around professionalism and all around competency, right? So project management, again, itself is a body of knowledge we cannot cover in this video. Go and read about how the successful projects works, that again, how you define the scope, how you collect the resources, how you find the funding, and how you deliver the projects, right? Again, important topic to read about. Number 9, share knowledge wherever you can. And you might be thinking, I don't know enough. I was just starting my career, or I'm a mid-manager. I don't know what to do, right? Everybody knows something. I don't know a lot of things, right? But most of the things I learn, actually I share with people. And this is one of my way of learning. So if you're learning something new, right, go and share with people. And there's various methods and various, let's call it, platforms available to share knowledge. Start with the blogging. You can write on LinkedIn. You can write on Medium, for example, right? Or just write posts wherever you can find, right? So read, learn, write. Because that process effectively gonna make you better. The more knowledge you share, you probably gonna become a subject matter expert. People are gonna think, okay, you like this topic, you write a lot about this topic, or you maybe do some healthy debate on social media. You will get some traction, and then guess what will happen? People get contact you, and that's what happened with me. I get a lot of contacts on LinkedIn because I write a lot. I basically put some content in, so I get people contacting me saying, I've seen your content, that's really good. Can we work? Can we collaboration together, etc., right? So it might happen with you. So share knowledge, sharing is caring. Number 10, become social proof. What do I mean by that? Social proof means that your social profiles are visible and authentic. What generally happens right now, for example, I apply, I have a job in my team, I've got about hundreds of CVs, I like few people. The first thing I do, I Google them. And I try to find them on LinkedIn. If they are available on LinkedIn, they have a good profile, basically it matches with their CV. Okay, there's some authenticity in them, right? Or what is also happening right now is LinkedIn is becoming, for example, a platform of choice in terms of finding a candidate. Again, if you're there, you're credible, it's a good thing, right? And that's what my colleagues in HR, they do that. So therefore, being a social proof, especially on the professional social media sites, that's super important. Therefore, we have created a course with 𝐜𝐸_, who is a professional LinkedIn coach, and his course is helping you basically designing and improving your LinkedIn or in general social media profile, right? So you will become more authentic, right? And you're going to present yourself very well, therefore increasing your chances of finding a better jobs or business in general anyway, right? So go and check out the course. There's a link below for the course done by 𝐼𝐸_. I'm sure you're going to like it. The guy is great, and you can actually follow him on LinkedIn as well. Number 11, and the most important thing, which is join the community. Human by nature wants to be in community, right? So as a supply chain professional, so if you want to find a supply chain jobs, you have to become a part of the community. If that means you join a Facebook group or LinkedIn group, or just follow a �SCMDOJO social media profile, follow our page, which again we have given the link below of �SCMDOJO on the LinkedIn page, or I'm going to start a community site as well within the �SCMDOJO environment, right? So join community where you can see there's more supply chain people are hanging out. You can learn with them, you can collaborate, you can find opportunities, you can do a lot of stuff, right? So joining community is one of the important things. I have benefited a lot, and this is one of our aim at �ＳCMDOJO. We want to create �SCMDOJO, the place for supply chain professionals, right? We want to create the biggest community. Hopefully you like the work we are doing here. If you do, please do the like, share, and subscribe. Keep it simple and keep it real. Ciao.